together a long time. I'm still using that finger. Didn't you try to get rid of that like 3 years ago? Jeez, where's the discipline around here?
I'll just leave.
I know, Mom's gonna slink out. I got rid of some of the bad habits a couple years ago, maybe. We'll see. Okay, come on. What do you have to say? I know, I'll support you however you need to be right now, but you do have to slow down, okay? Okay, ready? Control your body. Control your body. And you're gonna look. You got it. Okay, so let's start so we know we're here we go. Fresh start. Ready, go. Got it? Good. Look right at it. Look right at it. Okay. So you're hitting over to the side of the A. Look right where you want to go. D. So you have deer, S-A, A, A. So see, we're stuck. Let's go back to the A. So we have deer, S-A. What's next? Nice. Good job. Nice. Look.
You're on camera, Chris.
Got it. You're doing great. You're awesome. Nice. Get your eyes back down there. Nice. Moving across the board. Okay. So you see when he looks away, I do not let him type. And this is like super important, right, Chris? You know who you invited to be here, man. Okay, come on, you've got something you're saying here. Dear say, W-A-N, what's next? I'm waiting. Nice work. Good. Look right at it and you'll get it. Yeah, nice. What's next? Dear say want. So if you want to touch that, I think it does speak. That's cool. That doesn't look like that's turned on. Okay, so hold on. Okay, you gotta reset. I don't know what this is, IA. So can you try again? Can you try again so I can know what you're saying?
Dear say want IA.
Okay, what's IA? See, you're like leaving us hanging in the middle of saying and nobody knows. So you gotta fix this. All right, dude?
Come across that.
Come on. Come on.
So, Chris, do you want to have a seat?
We could sit and type or stand. Either way is actually fine with me. I know, touching your arms in all kinds of ways. You ready? So you have dear, say, want, and then you have IA. And I'm thinking you need to fix this. Get yourself under control. You're good. I'm thinking you need to fix this IA here with your back it up button. Just think, look, I know you got it, look. But see, it's too heavy. It's too heavy. Nice and easy movement. Nice and easy movement. Yeah. Here you go. 1, 2, 3. Nice and easy. Good. So watch the things that I do. Because I don't let him slam towards the board. I'm coaching his movement. No heavy arm. Reason is none of that works towards sustainable typing or independence. So all of the slamming towards the board, the not looking, the heavy arm. I get that you're working with a body that's not cooperating, but when he stops and controls his movement, he can do it. And then the more we practice the soft, easy typing and stuff, the better he'll get at controlling it all. And then he can build independence over time, which is pretty cool. Okay, so you're now, okay, dear say want, what's next? Come on, man. Ready, set, go. Nice and easy, you got it. You got it. Nice, good, next. Look. Next. Good. Yeah, look and use those word predictions, absolutely. Yeah, you gotta look at it though, you're not gonna get it. So you're all over. There we go. Okay. Okay, nice. Keep going. Dear say typing. Dear say want typing on. Nice. Good. Good luck. Good. You're doing awesome. Nice. right at the letter. And so like I also stop like him right above wherever he's pointing, slows him down, and then he's got to do that last push nice and slow and steady.
Like the 80-20 rule when you're gonna kiss someone for the first time?
Well, it's almost like, so I let him go 80, it's very close to that. I love it. I let him go 80% of the way on his own, and then I slow him down even more, and then he has to go that last 20, really purposefully. Because otherwise he gets in between the letters and stuff, and so yeah, kinda. But I don't ever move his hand. Like, I'm not the one moving him anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm the one like holding him back. Okay, dear say, want typing on the, ready, go. Yep, see, look, I gotta watch. I'm good. Yeah, thank you. I know, we're gonna put it right here for now. Okay, on the what? Ready, set, finish it up, because we're curious. D, A, I. Oh, nice work. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, so you've got a couple weird things. Fix it. Good, I love that you initiated fixing that. Okay, so fix it again. If you want that, put a period. If not, keep typing. Okay, now you want to press your speak? No. You gotta look right at it because you're missing it. Keep going. Keep going. You gotta get right on it. It's annoying accuracy.
Dear say want typing on the daily.
Dear say want typing on the daily.
Oh, wow.
Okay, awesome. Yes, so I got it. You want to type every day. So I think that we can chat about that. All right? Yeah.
So Chris,
Yeah.
maybe James, if you scoot over and they can have two seats together.
Okay.
Here, this.
I'm going to have other people jump in.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so
Well,
sit
see
here.
you, Christy.
No, I'm good. So if you guys, I'm good with this for right now, and then I'll probably grab a couple things from my bag.
You
in a
know
minute.
what? Can you put your clappers down? I know you're looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to working. Can you put your clappers down? Thank you.
Cool. Okay. So before we get started, kind of talking about how to make sure you've got typing on the daily. But do you see I'm wearing one?
Do you know you had a watch that he really liked the last time we were here, and you took pictures of it, and I think that's what he's talking about.
Oh, interesting. I don't even remember what I was wearing last time. That is a cool eyeball watch. that you have.
Actually, he's had us wear that watch for 2 days now.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Cool. That's
All right,
awesome.
Here, why don't you scoot in?
So,
Scoot up.
So Chris, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna ask you like if there's anything else that you want to talk about right now, and then what we'll do is we'll have each of your folks start to practice a little bit, okay? And we'll do some coaching with them. And then I think one of the final things to do is talk about the schedule of your day and your life and how to build this in systematically. So that way you get typing on the daily. Okay? What do you think about that plan? Okay, read my palm. Please only tell me if there's anything good happening in my life. If you see anything dark or dreary, if we could hold off on that, I would appreciate it. Okay? Let me just set that over there. Okay, anything else before we kind of get started? Or what? Do you have any adjustments you'd like to make to the plan I just talked about? So just so you know, too, this table is a little bit high. One of the things when people type is, and it's okay, we'll make it work, but you know, gravity is useful. So when I was standing up, I'm using gravity to help him keep a rhythm. And so anytime he's got to move his movement up like this a little bit more, sometimes it can be a little harder. I mean, you can get used to it and stuff, but sometimes it is a little bit more challenging, but maybe not for you, Chris. Okay, what, anything else? You ready? One. And so one of the things I do is I help him kind of try to stop his body, organize it. You see me giving him some pressure. You see me asking him, control your body, you know, that kind of thing. It's like coaching. You're coaching his body. You're coaching him to help control it all so he can type. Because you've asked to type. So it's in line with what you want. So it may seem a little pushy on my part, but it is in line with what you've asked for. That's how I think about it. At least you can tell me if I'm wrong. What you're thinking, man. Okay, ready to go. Here we go.
Ask him.
I know. Look. So he looks away, I hold him back. Okay, ready, go. I'm here with you. You're doing a great job. You are. This is a lot of pressure, and you're just doing awesome. Okay, let's get your eyes on the board. There we go. You're a great typer. You know that. Okay, good job. Keep going. Nice work. So you have feel this. You gotta look, man. Now, I allow him to look away. Like, you know, you can look at your keyboard and then look away, kind of a thing. The thing is like all of us can do a lot of, he says, feel this rhythm. Very cool. Is there more to that? Feel this rhythm? Here, you're gonna have to go. Okay. If he gets too heavy, I pull him back, kind of shake it out, and ask, okay, nice and easy to the board. Feel this rhythm. What's next? Okay. That was quick. Try again. Nice. Good again. You gotta look. So what you'll notice too, when his eyes flit away, when his hand almost is there, he often misses the letter. So it's like about practicing keeping your eye on it. Okay, what's the next? Feel this rhythm. Nice. Nice and easy. When your eyes are there, you are accurate. Yeah. Feel this rhythm. Keep going. In. Get your eyes. So in what? You got a V. What's next?
Dear say want typing on the daily. Feel this rhythm in V.
Okay, what's the V, man? I'm here for you. Just let us know. Just let it out. V what? You got it. You're doing great. 1, 2, 3, go. Nice work. I don't know that VD is a word, so let's go back to the V. I mean, you know, maybe it's not a road we want to go down. Let's keep it a little on the upside right here, okay? All right, V what? You got it. No, not right now. You got it. It's over there. It's not going anywhere. It's very cool. Nice.
I'll wear it, Chris. All right, so.
Thank you, Kean. That's so good. Very. What's nice? Get your eyes. Get your eyes. W-A-I-T. Feel this rhythm in the very weight. Gosh, your typing is awesome. A, B, light hand, good enough. Look. You didn't look. A, B, O, U, look.
So you're circling or pulling back to counter his heavy arm.
Yeah, when it feels heavy, I kind of do. Just, it's anything to break that heavy motion. You know, I'll even give him a little massage, a little light joint compression, you know, stretch. So it is really anything that I find can break it. So yeah, I did kind of do some circles there. Okay, feel this rhythm in the very weight about, and weight as W-A-I-T, not E, not the other kind. Ready to go? And so initiation's always difficult, which is why I kind of like help him get initiated, you know. All right, very weight about, look. Okay, Chris. You gotta look, man. You can't type without looking. L. I. Nice. Nice. That was funny. Life what? W. You can use that word prediction. Lighten up. B. Look. B. Wanting what? Life, wanting. So nice and light in this last word here. It's not the last word, but I'm thinking it might be. Hey.
I want to know.
I know, life, wanting what? How you use words is always awesome. Okay, try again, because you see my support's back, so you're going to have to concentrate even more. We got to look. You're not going to get it. B. Okay, come on.
What beads?
What's this?
Chris, what's that? What's here? What's next? Okay, look again. Look right where is that letter you want? M. Oh, nice work. Get your eyes down. Get your eyes down. R. E. Period. See, you didn't look. Hit the speech button. You got it. 1, 2, 3. You gotta look at it, man. Okay. Try
Dear
this.
say one typing on the daily. Feel his rhythm and very weight about life when think more.
Feel this rhythm in very weight about life wanting more.
Here we go.
I just love this kid.
We have another T-shirt, Chris.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I think we have another T-shirt.
Just like, oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I just have to say, if that's not like validation of authorship, I don't know what is.
Exactly.
Because I have to tell you, there's nothing in me that constructs language that way. So, awesome work. So, what I'd like to do is I want to have a little conversation with folks, and then we're going to get them into practice with you one at a time, okay? So, are you cool with that plan? Yes, it's just yes or no. Are you cool with that plan? You gotta look. Just yes or no. Just you gotta tell me, or if you have something to say about the plan, tell me.
Can you answer, Christy? Answer and then you can introduce your new teammate.
Okay. Okay, look right at it and get it. Yes. Okay, cool.
So, do you want to tell her who this is?
Dear say one typing on the daily. Feel his rhythm and very weight about life when think more. Why?
Cool. Cool. So that was yes. Good. I'm Christy.
Hi, Christy. I'm McKenna.
McKenna, it's nice to meet you.
Good to meet you as well.
Okay, so I thought we'd have just a little talk about how you support him and stuff, and then I'm gonna we'll rotate you through one at a time, and we'll try some things, and I have some ways of doing that to make sure everybody's successful and stuff. So I guess I wanted to open it up for any questions you might have, and any problems like where you get stuck or when it doesn't seem to work or those types of things, just to kind of get that out. And it's okay because the reason I'm here is to solve those problems. And so this is like what we have to talk about in order to make sure we get typing on the daily, okay? So if it feels like worrisome that we're talking about problems, just try to keep yourself remembering that this is about solving them. Cool? So.
Question that comes up for me is, what is it that can help him expand vocabulary with me sometimes? Because I've noticed over the last few months, he'll type pools of something, and he never did that for years. And
Yeah.
now all of a sudden it's this pattern that's
Stuck
developed.
on language. And then does he fill into something?
Yeah, it would be like pools of apology or pools of gratefulness or
So we're stuck in pools of things right now.
yeah.
Okay, cool. So something we do see in folks that type is sometimes you get stuck. There's phrases that become repetitive, and they get in the way of communication sometimes, because then it's, well, what is pools of apology referring to? So tell me more, or do we need to even say pools of? But I get that you are very poetic in your language, so I don't want to take that away. But there are times when I say we're not typing that right now, because we need to expand, we need to type. So I've got people that I work with that, dearly want to say the sad girl. And it's dearly want to say the sad girl, dearly want to say the sad, and no, we're not typing that anymore because it's not furthering our communication. And so, Chris, we'll talk about that, but I think we may have to interrupt those things sometimes to get to communication that means something. Because we want to hear so there are also maybe different times for different types of communication in your life, Chris. So there may be times for you to express all of your, there may be journaling times or something where you're just wanting to put your thoughts down. And then there's times when you're communicating for a purpose, I want to share with you something that I need you all to know in order for my life to run better, or I want to tell you what I'm pissed off about today, or I want to tell you what I'm super excited about, or I want to tell you that my foot hurts, or, you know, those types of things. And so, like, there's different purposes. And so I would say sometimes we would interrupt that. It's like, no, I'm asking you where you want to go to dinner. And so pools of whatever is not going to work right now. Like, dinner, where are we going? You know? So yeah.
Okay.
So it's going to be about, it will be about sometimes interrupting that to expand where he can go.
Mhm.
He may, and some of that may come naturally as we like work on some of your skills. And so often when Chris struggles to communicate, it is about us. It's not actually about him. So we have to look at, like, what do our supports look like? How am I adjusting how I'm being? How am I adjusting both? Like, so you'll notice too, Chris needs physical support to communicate, but he also needs attention focus and some physical, like, prompting and stuff. And so there's like a lot going on to support his communication. It's not simple. If it was simple, we'd have worked this out a long time ago, right, Chris? So yeah, this method of communication, whether you want to call it FC or supported typing or whatever, is it's not an easy road. It's just all we know that can support folks with some complex motor difficulties and not useful verbal speech. So yeah, so that's a good question. We'll keep that in mind as we work today. Yeah, what else comes up for you guys?
Something that I had happen on Monday, he did really well with typing out a message for his barbecue invitation.
Oh, cool.
It took us a little bit, but we got through it and everything. And then he started saying dong for chime. Like, he kept repeating it and then would, like, take the letterboard to me. So he started typing and it was the same thing, L-O, 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 and I would try resetting him, and we went back to it 3 times with several minutes in between because he continued to, like, say it out loud and grab the letterboard.
Right. So
I was like, I'm not getting what you're trying to say.
Yeah. And so, Chris, when we type again in a little bit, you maybe want to let us in on, like, do you get stuck on certain thoughts? And I don't know if you know this historically. Do you get, so OCD is a part of autism sometimes. And so everybody experiences it differently, and I'm not a huge label fan or anything like that, but this idea that your mind gets stuck in loops is something he could be experiencing. So in that case, we want to ask him, how do we help you get out of it?
Yeah.
Is it a walk around the block? Is it a listening to some music? Is it a, some physical movement? Or, what can help you get out of that? Okay. So we'll figure that out. We'll come up with some strategies. Because he gets frustrated and you're like, I just want to help you.
Yeah.
And so what do
I'm
we
like,
do?
I know you have something to say to me right now, but we're not on the same level here on this.
Right.
We'll
Totally.
be back, Chris. I think he's just doing an exchange. I always get the sense when we get there that he's just having a hard time coming up with the word that he wants.
Okay. Got it.
That it just can't quite get there.
Yeah. Okay. Chris, can you walk over here and tell me if what your mom said is accurate? Because that does sound like it might be something. Can you come over here and you can just stand up and give me a yes or no? Here.
He's coming right back in. He's coming right back in.
So, like,
no worries.
Are you having trouble finding the words, like when that happened with the L-O kind of thing? Was it L-O? Was that, yeah? Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay.
It's my mom.
Oh, hi.
Okay, cool. Cool.
She's, I accidentally grabbed the wrong laptop. This one's hers. So she's gonna go in and
Chris, I think
we set it up.
This one?
Remember how I brought you Jay's
Yeah.
to show you the program? She figured out a bigger keyboard that made more sense for him.
Okay.
So she was gonna bring that up.
Cool. Cool.
Chris, come here.
All right, Chris.
Come back. Come on.
Anything else come up that's making communication hard or getting in the way
So
or?
what did he say? Yes?
Yeah.
With this hard
Yeah.
sign?
So I think maybe it's in the same realm, line of questioning, like, I don't remember how I acquired my vocabulary, so I don't know how to help someone else expand theirs.
Yeah. So, here's the thing. Chris has already acquired his vocabulary in the same way you did, by people speaking to you and being in the world. And that is how you all acquired vocabulary, is through Speaking to people, hearing people, reading, listening to things, music, all of that acquired your vocabulary. Chris has language. He just doesn't speak it, but he has a full range of language. I think when he's struggling to get words out, it is word finding problems. And so imagine that, you have all had this happen to you where you're like, I can think of the word, but I just can't. It's just right there, but I just don't know what it is. And then you may start helping me, like, is it this? Is it that? And then eventually you land on something and I go, yes, that's it. Yeah, totally, right? But we've all experienced that, where we can't find the word, but it's very close, And so we want to remember that is happening for him probably way more because of the movement struggles that he has. And it's movement of cognition as well. It's not just physical movement. It's all over the place in his body. And so it's like sometimes his brain can't find the right word or gets stuck. And so how you help him find words is pretty much similar to how we help each other. And so if he's doing LO, I probably would do two different strategies. One is, first I would say, okay, is it love? Is it lots? Is it looking? Is it looming? Is it,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like,
So
might help
go
him.
and prompt him.
Yeah,
Okay,
totally.
if he's
And I would
stuck.
just verbally say these things, and then maybe, it's looming, okay, and then he says looming.
Okay.
And then if it's not working after like 4 or 5 tries, then I would be like, okay, let's just shake it off, man.
Yeah.
Because also what you have all experienced, whether you're aware of it or not, is you'll start to walk or move somewhere, and it comes back to you. Like movement helps trigger our cognition. So anyway, so then that's maybe what he needs. And so it is about doing some physical movement, listening to some music, walking around the block, I don't know, doing some yoga or dancing or something that gets him kind of like thinking again.
Yeah.
So, and then if it doesn't come up, it doesn't come up. And then we just have to move on. So yeah, so it's kind of like that. Like you're going to be helping him in lots of different ways. So, but I think we know from Chris's writing that he's got like this super amazing vocabulary that is creative, and I think he gets stuck sometimes, and that's what you experience too with whatever it was you just said. Pools. That's right. Pools. He's stuck somewhere in that we have to help figure out how to stop. So, anything else coming?
I
up
think
for you
that's
guys?
where maybe it's like the fine line of like I hold myself back from suggesting words because I don't want to influence him more than I already am on his arm.
Yeah.
So I haven't been doing that.
Yeah.
But now that you say like, okay, if he's stuck on something, go ahead and suggest.
Yeah.
Then I can start to navigate that fine line, I guess.
Totally. And I actually want you guys to do tons of verbal coaching.
Okay.
So I've got a handout that is, I only have a few copies, but so I want you to share.
Put it in the printer here.
I'm good. Okay.
And I can also email it to you guys. It's also on my website.
I think we have some.
Yeah, this is not new.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but this is going to speak right to what we were just talking about. So when you sit down to start to type with someone, I always start with step 1 on that, which is an open-ended question. Chris, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to say? What do you think about that TV show we just watched? What do you think about whatever you want to you're talking about? And then sometimes it may not work, and he may not type anything, or he may get stuck on a couple words. And so then you go to step 2, and step 2 says what?
Provide sentence starters.
Provide a sentence starter. So here's where you're going to see. I'm going to tell you to create a structure for him that's going to get you out of some of these things, okay? Because what you've got to remember is you are teaching him to use typing as a method of communication. And so this is coaching that we're doing right here. And it's teaching his body to access all of this. So the sentence starter may be, so Chris, somebody tell me something Chris did today.
We went to this little wildlife place, the wildlife exhibit.
Okay.
IDU.
Okay, so you went to the wildlife exhibit. Super cool. And so I always wonder what happens when this mood shift comes on. We'll have to talk about that sometimes. So Chris, I may, want to know about that. And so I'd be like, tell me about the wildlife exhibit. And so say I sit down next to him and say, tell me about the wildlife exhibit. And nothing. Or he says, pools up, or nothing comes about. So then you're going to go to the next sentence, which is provide a sentence starter. And then you're going to literally say to him, Chris, start by typing at the wildlife exhibit I saw. And you are going to coach him letter by letter through that. Type the A, type the T, get the space. Type the T, type the H, type the E, get the space. And you're going to coach him and support him to type at the wildlife exhibit I saw. And then you're going to stop. And then he's going to fill it in.
Okay.
And what you're doing there is you're helping get his brain on track to share something. Okay? It is a strategy that we use when we're learning to support someone to type. It often isn't needed for a very long time, but when people are stuck, or it's a way to get us in the flow together, and it's a way to put a frame around him being able to express and like leave it open, and then he can express it. So that's step number 2. The other thing it does is when you're coaching him verbally and providing him physical support to the letters, at the wildlife exhibit I saw, you're getting used to each other's support and movement. And so it's giving you time to practice when you know what the message is. And that's what we want, because then you get better at giving that support when you don't know what the message is. Okay? So it's definitely like a teaching tool. So then if you try that and you coach him and he types at the wildlife exhibit I saw, and then he types nothing, then you go to step 3.
Share full ideas.
Share a full idea. And so then what you would say there is, I've not been to that wildlife exhibit, Chris, but I've been to others. And when I was there, I saw this eagle, and it was phenomenal to see just the span of the eagle's wings. And so that's something I've really enjoyed at a wildlife exhibit, And the reason you do that is you start to get his thinking structured, okay? I think sometimes when you get stuck in the LOs and the pools of, your thinking may be jumbled everywhere. And that happens, especially folks who struggle, and have to type to communicate. Have shared that is part of how they experience the however, what's going on with autism or whatever's happening with you right now. So it helps to frame thinking. Okay, you're telling me what you saw, now I'm going to tell you what I saw. Okay? It's just a strategy. If that doesn't work, then one of the last ones is to use a word board. And that is where I get dry erase boards or notepads out, and I create a grid that's just like this, and I write 3 words, and then I write something else. And then you say, did you see birds? Did you see, I don't know, what is it at the wildlife exhibit? Snakes? Did you see bears? Or something else. And you hold it up, and the words are written out, and he points to something else. And then you get to scratch out or dry erase off what you just put, and you get to put 3 new things, and you just keep thinking. But what happens then is he points, he touches birds, and you go, cool, thanks for sharing that with me. Do we want to now type something about the birds? And then you go all the way back to step 1 and go through it again. The reason why this is so successful is you always have a way to have a successful communication interaction. Is using the word board as full or complete as we want it to be? No. But he at least gets to share something. And then you get to go back and try again. Okay?
Seems like he wants to introduce our guest.
Chris?
Then come and type. Here.
Chris, should we ask her to introduce herself?
No.
Yeah, okay.
Hi, Whitney. Friend Chris, mother and friend of Levine's.
It's nice to have mother and friend in the same grouping there, Levine.
Look at those eyes.
Look at that eye roll. Doesn't mean we're going to hanging out in the bar.
Right, I gotcha.
It's a different thing. Yeah, Brent.
Cool. Awesome. So that's those steps are the structure we use when we're starting to learn to type. Is going through those and kind of problem solving as you go. It means that when you sit down to work together, that it's good to have a notepad and a pen or a dry erase board or something that you can scribble some things on if you need him to point to that. You need to, have something you're going to talk about. Now, I really think it's important that it's conversational and that you talk to him like you talk to your friends, that you also share of yourself. All those things are really important. Chris wants to know the deep down nitty gritty and give advice just like the rest of us do. And so, sometimes we forget that we're in conversation with someone and we're not like interviewing them, and sometimes it's like a question after question instead of like, well, what do you think? And then I share something. So it's not all these like questions in a row, but it's more conversational, and it's different. So it takes something to kind of, I think, stay focused on that and stuff. But I think it'll work. I find that it is useful to build it into a structure and routine of the day. So Chris, I'm not sure if you're interested in journaling or writing poetry or responding to something you've read. I did notice, I don't know if that's going on, but bedtime reading, like, if you were to read something at bedtime, if you want to have comment on it the next day or before you go to sleep or something, but it would be useful as a team to think of how can we routinely build in opportunity to actually sit down and type every day. And then I think the Proloquo is brilliant for when you're out in the community. Because it's very difficult to do out and about. I mean, you can, but it's not the easiest. It takes a lot of time. But the Proloquo, you could program in, the places he typically goes and who he would respond to and what he would say and the request to look at people's hands and all of that. And then it's just a button. And it's really great social stuff. So to me, it's both the expressive typing and also the use of the quick responses, which you have been using on the Dynavox, but I do think we could make it a little more easily accessible and stuff. And also, Chris, you might even consider someday when you get a new iPad, sometimes people even prefer the minis because, it's a little smaller, a little easier to port around, that kind of thing. But anyway, so that's my little spiel.
Chris, do you have anything you want to add?
Can you want to come over here and let me know your input? Do you need some help getting your body over here?
Maybe you go over there.
I can go over there. I'm happy to. You want me to move it over here and we'll just stand?
You act like I'm distracting you, big guy.
Here we go. Do you have anything to say based on what all of I just talked a lot. What do you think? Like F U. Come on, you got it. Get yourself focused. F U. What's next? Fun. Thank you.
It's going somewhere.
These guys are in the gutter.
I know. Come on, is there any more fun? It was fun, all that you had to say? Fun. Look. Look. Fun. I mean, you got it, man. But you gotta look. Okay. Let's get the keyboard back. Okay, go for it. Fun. You gotta look right at it. I know, it's a lot of work, Minx. You can use your word prediction up there. Thank you.
And so you're holding the back of his arm while
I'm just squeezing it gently just to control the power that he's pushing forward with. Now look right where you want it.
Kind of like a pool cue.
It's I'll tell you more. So he put Fun Zoo around here. That's funny. So he's really heavy-handed, and so I'm wanting him to lighten up. For Chris to get more independent, he has to start to do this more independently, and not And so one of the ways I start to do that is to kind of bring some awareness here. And so a lot of this has to do with different theories of movement and motion and how we learn to control our bodies. And so just gently squeezing kind of helps him to, I found in the moment that we started doing this, is he just started to lighten his hand up a little bit. I don't exactly know why. But so I will try different things. I'll try different, like squeezing on his shoulders. I'm not like squeezing hard, but just kind of a gentle backward kind of little squeeze. And then I'm in the palm of his hand here, just kind of like this. And when he gets real heavy, I just kind of have him shake it out and stuff, and then we go again.
So the last time you were here, Christy, you actually had him pulling, he was actually pulling back his arm on his own.
On his own, yeah. No, we could get there again. I know we could really quickly, Chris, but I think there's a lot of people that want to practice. So, all right, are you ready to have some folks practice? Can you come over here and confirm? I'm going to bring this to you. All right, you can just go Y or N. Are you ready? I'm going to ask.
You got this, Chris.
You got it. You're doing great. Y. Cool. Now, I have to tell you, preference-wise, I'm not going to mess with this today. I would like him to use his pointer finger, but he's using his middle finger just fine, so we're just going to go with that. I don't know that there's any reason why he shouldn't, other than if he doesn't isolate it, he can get a lot of fingers on the board, but it's working right now, so we'll just go with it. So, you know, we may look at it at a later time or something. Yeah. And they make them actually for the iPads. They make some that actually have a little click to them, like that are a little like.
They do make a little
Which people sometimes really like that sensory input. So, yeah, and they're not so bad. I've got some links to ones that I could send you guys. But yeah, keycard might be a really good idea.
My son Julian's.
Yeah.
It's got, and it's magnetic.
Oh, cool.
You know,
You want to sit here?
Yeah, really, it's great. And just lift it off.
Take my stuff.
Cool.
I have a quick question about
Yeah.
step 3.
Yeah.
Share full ideas. Is that also something you're typing or just verbally sharing?
Verbally.
Okay.
You know, so some people do prefer to have typed communication back and forth. I don't know that Chris, if you've ever expressed that I know about. I think he's fine just through us chatting with him and stuff. But you could always try.
I just wasn't sure if it was like the second, because that's a totally new idea of prompting.
Yeah.
And I really like that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
super helpful.
Yeah, so if you thought it might help him get like out of the verbal loop, you could absolutely write down, here's my idea, and have him read it and see if it helped. You know, like this is a very experimental thing. You know, you try a lot of different things because different things work for different people. So, you know. So in all the people that I've worked with over the last probably 15 years or so, this is what I have come up with that helps people learn to type. So, you know. Okay, so here's the other thing. You're gonna sit down next to him and I'm gonna ask you to type something with him. And so you can either come up with your own idea, or sometimes when we're learning, I do have some things that I use. And Chris, I'm not sure if I brought anything last time, but I don't know if you guys have ever seen like these table topics. So sometimes I do those. I'm also like kind of recently, people have liking these book of lists and typing about some of the topics in here, like list the things you like to do on your day off, or, you know, so it gives you something to talk about, list the places you want to go visit. So you can use these types of things, or you can just talk about whatever you want to talk about too. I started using table topics when my sons were both teenagers and we're having terrible conversations at the dinner table. So I found that this created a lovely dinner table environment. And they are often sitting around in bars and things like that because they're just, you know, they're funny questions like, you know, like which moment from your life would you choose to relive if you could? And then you share too your idea and stuff. So when you sit down with him, you can choose to do something, or you may just have something to talk about too.
If we can have people move and like sit on the periphery, because it's really distracting to have all of this kind of coming at them.
Okay. So, you know, folks could sit on the couch over there, or, yeah, cool.
That'd be great.
And so I would prefer, Chris, that you sit at the table.
Yeah.
Because
That's his usual chair.
Oh, nice.
And it sits a little higher.
Nice, that would be great then.
So let's do that.
Let's do that,
So
Chris.
let's-
Okay? We just want to create the most successful environment as possible. All right? I'm here to help. You got it. Go sit in your usual chair. That's cool. Yeah. I know that well. I think that would be great. Yeah.
So you keep, I just keep No, I can.
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to want to reference this. And then I did bring a dry erase board if we need it for a word board. And a dry erase marker.
And this is when the clappers need to go here. Yeah. Yep.
All right, Chris, so I'm going to sit here and coach you guys. Do you know what you want to talk about?
Yeah.
You got
No.
this.
Okay.
Here, put your
So you got to come up with it.
flags here. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, no, I agree completely. Yeah, you're good.
You're good. You're totally. You got this. You got this. This is where you want to be. Christy's right here.
I'm here to help.
She's right here.
That's right.
All right.
I'm here to learn.
All right, so either think of something you want to talk about, or pick something that I brought. Do you want a table topic card, or do you want to think of something?
Chris,
I mean,
What
you
was
can
your
probably pull one of
favorite
those
part?
chairs from the
what was your
window
favorite
over
thing
here.
about this week? Can you tell me about it?
Okay, so first thing is, this chair may not work, we'll see.
Okay.
Just the arms, but we'll see. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
always want to sit perpendicular, so get your body completely perfect, perpendicular.
Perpendicular.
And perpendicular. Some people say, what does that mean?
With that part we can change.
There we go, so let's try that. Okay, so you got your question.
So good question. Oh, do you want to type with me? How's that for a starting question?
Well, I don't know that we're giving you a choice right now, Chris. I did ask if you wanted to type with everyone, you said yes, so I think we're going for it.
Alright, what was your favorite thing about this week?
Favorite thing about this week, Chris? So then you need to offer your hand because, initiation is a struggle, so you want to make sure you're helping him initiate. And so then get back in the base of his palm. Okay? So it's kind of like this. So you see, like back here. Yeah. All right. Favorite thing about this week, Chris? So, and then you're going to ask him. You're monitoring everything, so you got to ask. You got to watch his eyes. And if he doesn't look, you're going to hold his hand back. Okay. So he's not.
Are you sure? Should we go back a little bit? It seemed like you started to type something. Let's go backspace.
Okay. So you don't ever move his hand. So
Right.
we don't even want to practice it with the moving of the backspace. Either drop his hand and you backspace it, or wait for him to initiate the movement of backspace. Because what we don't want is practice moving his hand anywhere.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have no problem. If I don't
That's right,
understand a
so far.
message, I just say, I'm deleting it. 'Cause I don't understand it.
Let's start over.
Yeah.
We do practice that when we're prompting a sentence, or no?
No, because you're verbally prompting him, he's
Okay.
moving. Yeah, good question.
Ready? Favorite part about this week? No? Do type with me, because then we can type while I'm here too. He.
So keep your hand, yeah, and then just out,
Ready?
look.
You're looking? Oh yeah, I imagine so. What else? Is that what you meant?
Frustrated or
So you're frustrated. Okay, cool. Thanks for sharing that. Awesome. So Chris, you can say more about that. And so sometimes when it goes differently than the topic I ask, I always just say, feel free to say more about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me about that. So you then just enter into the conversation that's presented to you. So,
You want to talk more about that? Tell me about why? Let's try it. Tell me why you're frustrated.
frustrated root.
Rude.
so after each word, don't stop. What's next? What's next? And then what I do is if
When you get the speak thing.
yeah, that's okay. And then what's next?
Oh.
So what you want to get is into a habit where he types a little bit of a sentence or several words before he hits the speech. It's okay if he's hitting the speech, but then we want to bring him right back because then we kind of lose the flow. And so it would be get him right back in it, and then if you feel like he might be done, you can say, if you're finished, go to the period. If not, keep typing. So that's always my cue. If you're finished, touch the period. If not, keep typing. Because that's the only way I know if you're finished.
You want to keep typing? Yeah. Yeah?
Okay, base of his palm.
Okay. Ready? You looking?
Come on, man, you got
You
it.
can tell me anything.
Okay, watch his eyes.
Are you looking?
There you go.
are you looking? What are you doing? Okay, so bog standard for our communication. Read your wow.
Doesn't make sense?
No.
Okay, so then back it up, because it's not making sense. And so we're talking, the topic is about why he's frustrated. You could try one more time, and then if it doesn't work, I'd go to step 2.
What's step 2 again?
It's right here.
I'm frustrated.
I'm frustrated because provide a sentence starter.
Yeah, let's try that. Type because. Yeah, with me. No?
You got it. Nope, you're good. So one of the things is you're coaching his body. So if he's agreed to sit here, we've agreed to sit here. And so we're going to stay here. One of the things we also know about autism is it doesn't always cooperate. So he may get up and walk away when he actually really wants to be sitting here typing. So, so a lot of it is, nope, stay with me, let's get this finished, and then we'll get up. Now that may not work all the time, but it's kind of a structure that would try to create so that way he can build some stamina. Okay, so let's scoot your knees back around, and we're talking about why you're frustrated. All right?
Frustrated or right?
Yeah, we got it. Okay, so providing this, yeah.
Okay, what else? You looking?
Frustrated or right?
Okay, cool. So now go to number 2.
Okay.
I'm frustrated because.
Yeah.
Tell him to type that.
Yep.
Okay.
Because we want to know why. That's what we've asked.
So let's type the word because, you and I. I'm going first because I'm the hardest.
All right. So you can do the whole sentence if you wanted, or I'll let you go with just the word because he's already got frustrated out there. Okay? But get into his legs.
All right, Chris.
You're doing great, and I'm right here for you. So get your legs back around. Okay? And so when you're coaching to because, it's going to be Chris, you're going to type the word because. Get the B, get the E, get the C, get the A.
I know you know how.
You got this.
Let's type the word because and then we'll go from there. Come on. Yeah? Ready? Let's look at it.
So coach him B,
You looking?
E. Now watch his eyes.
He's really good at
I know, but it doesn't help him to get independent or sustain
watch it?
typing.
That's nice. Good job.
Okay, now prevent him from going to this and go space bar next.
Oh, let's go to space.
Yeah, because this doesn't
Okay.
make sense now. Okay, wait, stop for a second, Chris. And we're gonna go back to the end of because, hit the
Here we go.
space bar.
Space.
Try
Now
again.
tell me why.
Yeah, you got it. Nope,
Why? I
So-
heard that because.
nope.
Because what?
Nope.
Give him the 3, 2, 1, go cue.
Yeah, totally.
3, 2, 1.
Good. You got a J. What's next? Okay, that doesn't spell anything. Go again.
Jerry what? Jeer? Up there? Almost got it. Pay attention. Is that what you want?
Okay. Well, we don't know what
Is
that
that it?
means.
Wow.
Is jeer?
Anything else?
Well, but do you
Or just
know
cheer.
what this is?
I do.
Okay, so what do you think?
It's like snickery.
Right, but that doesn't tell us why. I mean, it's like another state of being, right?
Do you think we're laughing with you or?
That's a good question. That's good. That's great. So grab his hand to help him initiate, just gently.
Is there not much of an alpha dog?
No, it's good. This is an alpha role. It is. Yeah, you got it, man. It is because unfortunately Chris isn't always in charge of his movements, so we gotta kind of help. Okay, here we go. Jeer what?
Jeer what?
Or you were you asked
watching?
him a great question. What was that?
Are you laughing with me or
Yeah.
at me or do you think we're laughing
Are you looking?
at you or with you?
Okay, let's stop for a second because we're not getting anywhere. And go ahead and ask him that question you asked him about. Do you think we're laughing with you or at you? Because that was a great question to follow up on this.
Mm-hmm.
So ask him again, and then.
Do you think we're laughing with you? Or, I mean, I know for myself. I think I know the answer.
Yeah, well, what do you think,
I
Chris?
wanna know what Chris thinks.
Yeah, what do you think? Okay, so try again. You have the Y.
Yeah. What?
Look, you gotta
You
look.
looking?
Okay, that doesn't spell it. Try to get the actual word. We're gonna practice some conventions today.
Okay.
There we go. Good. Okay, cool. Cool, yes, so with you.
Frustrated RRR, FR because curious.
Cool, thank you. Well done. Good job. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. And you know, people laugh when they get nervous and people laugh when they're a little bit worried, and so yeah, we're kind of, you know, keeping it light for a lot of reasons, I think. Yeah. So that was great. And you see where he goes and he creates words that are all jumbly and not really making any sense. Just delete them. And the thing is there's this balance between honoring what Chris is saying and really supporting him to do communication that works, because we want to be able to relate. We want to be able to actually get the message, right? And so I love how you followed up from the jeer, because that was a perfect way to follow up from that. Like, okay, we got what that is, now how does it relate to how you're feeling, you know? So that was perfect. It's super cool. If he had not been able to do that, and if you had not handled that context of that communication so well, you may have ended up at a word board that had some different things and tell me why you're frustrated. But you were able to kind of work through that beautifully. So, yeah. And so I think, you know, what it is just really getting that you are creating the space and the structure for him to sit and communicate. And it doesn't always look like he wants to be here. But you know, he said he wants communication. And so it's like, come back to the table, come back to the table, come back to the message, come back to the message. While he walks away, if we paid attention to that, we wouldn't get this. And he's asked for this. So it's like, nope, come on back, we're gonna try it again. Come on back, we're gonna try it again, you know? There's this guy named Larry Bissonette who types very poetically, just like Chris does. And he was presenting, when I was a student at Syracuse University, he was presenting at a college class that I was in, and he was screaming, out the door, Larry, out the door. I mean, screaming and typing at the same time, please help me to stay here. I want to be with you all.
Wow.
You know, so it's like his automatic speech that he had, and his body was like screaming and looked like, I don't want to be here. But yet his words were, please help me be here. You know, so sometimes it is that different. So I think what we have to do is honor that he has said we want daily typing. And so then our job is to create that structure and help him to be here and stuff. So that was awesome. So then going forward, it's use the steps, use the steps, use the steps, and all of that.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Chris, who's next?
Pizza. That's who's next. No.
Yeah, he had it for lunch.
Okay.
I like what you said, because
Yeah,
Chris
right
often
to-
types with me, go home now, when he won't leave somewhere.
Right,
I'm
right.
like, I can tell you want to leave, but like, why?
Right.
It's
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. You've got yourself a snack. Okay. So can I pick who goes next? So can I pick who goes next? Yes. Okay. How about I just let them pick? Yes. Okay. Who wants to go next?
William's in there.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
But I
You're up.
struggle.
You're doing a good job, Chris. I'm super impressed.
The first year we struggled, and then we had some deep, hardcore discussion, angry yelling.
All right, man.
Just
Get
work
those
stuff.
legs around. And so just, you know, kind of think about what you want to talk to them.
Frustrated
Oh, sorry.
RRR, FR because curious.
Do you want to get
So Chris, what I want to know, what do you think about using word prediction? I think it's a great option for you. You use it occasionally.
Okay, there's your question, Liam. Okay, we did say put those down. Can you put them down, please? Your clappers. you call them?
Can I hold that?
Clappers.
Clacker.
Yeah.
Good
Do this and then you can have some popcorn.
Totally.
Thanks,
Okay.
So I know you're here to work.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, so one of the things you want to do is make sure his body's ready, which is when he's turned a little bit like that, it's a little difficult. And then, yeah, so you know, you gotta take his hand and say, we're doing this, and seems a little bossy.
How do you feel about the predictive text?
What do you think?
What do you think about that?
There you go.
3,
That's
2,
what I wanna get your body to.
1, let's type.
See, I'm wondering, is he picking up on the person's energy of unsuredness versus
Sure.
alpha, and so that's where he's holding back from typing?
Absolutely. And so the more confident we get, the better and the easier it'll be. And so, you know, I've been doing this so long that I can walk up to anybody who does this and I can support them to type. But when I was first learning, I couldn't do that. And so it is, the more you do it, the easier it gets. So yeah, he absolutely, he also picks up on your stress, you know, like, and like I always try to, I'm a really high energy person and I try to bring myself down a little bit when I come into space to type with people. So it is really about monitoring your own headspace and energy and all of that. Which I don't always do well, but I try. So yeah, so here, I'll help you get organized. Okay? All right, so get your hand out there. And the question was about the word prediction. I just want to straighten him a little. I'm sorry if I'm hurting you. All right, so go for it.
R.
And pull him back each time. So we're going to try again. So he's going to hit the letter, pull him back. 1, 2, 3, go.
H.
There you go. Go for it again.
Go ahead, dude.
Mama.
Nope, you've got an H. What's after the H? That's hilarious. Okay, so that's not a word, so we've got the H. So when he starts to get into things that aren't words, just stop it right away, because we don't need to go down that rabbit hole. So when you're putting backward pressure, pulling him back to what I call this neutral spot, which is like above the board, right here, because that way he can choose to go this way or he can choose to go this way. And so you want to pull him back so you can feel him going forward. Okay?
And there's not very much pressure when he's going forward, or there is?
There is some, yeah. So actually, here, type your name. Okay, kind of like that. And really, when you can get a rhythm, it's even better.
Oh, I get that.
Yeah. Sometimes I even use a metronome. You know, because then people can go, go, go. So I'll put a metronome on and stuff. I don't know. You can try all kinds of things. All right, dude, let's go. Get your eyes.
T. G.
Okay, now start over. What do you think about word prediction? Okay, G, what? So try to keep his hand with you for more than one letter at a time, which might be hard at first, but it's okay. G, H, that's not a word. G, look right at the letter you want. O, look right at the letter. Okay? I don't know if that's a word, but you come up with creative words sometimes, so finish. If it's not what you want, then you need to go to the backspace. So I also tell him that, like, you know, okay, good, fix it up. Fix it up, okay, G. Now, I want you to look right at what you want. Look at the letter. Nope, see, that's not the letter. Look at the letter you want. You have a G-O. G-O-P. P. Now you just deleted that. Okay, so we're kind of caught, and so I want you to go to step 2, which is the sentence starter. And here I would just say, let's type word prediction is. So start by coaching him to type word prediction. So you're gonna try word.
Word. W.
Pull them back. Good.
O. R. So I don't want to move it.
Pull them back.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you ever feel like, oh, I'm stuck, or maybe I feel like I just moved him on accident, that's okay. Influence happens. Just pull him back and start again. Or if you think you accidentally moved him, just delete the letter. Try it again. You know, it's okay.
So we're writing words.
Okay, get the R. Come on. I know it's a lot of talk while you're trying to type. Good, nice. Good, got it. Just helping. Get the D.
D.
Pull back again. Look right for the D.
E.
No, getting the D. Find the D, and I'll even point to it. It's right there, dude. Get it.
The D.
Should we change Chris's chair out so that all of us can use two arms? Because it looks like that arm is in the way of Lamine getting.
Yeah, I think maybe.
Word.
Okay, now space.
Space.
Good.
P.
Pull back.
We're writing prediction.
Yep. Pull back.
R.
So you've got to look here for the R and go for it. And so also watch his eyes. I haven't been watching. Look for that R. Good, nice. Good, that cueing. PR. Get the E now. Look right at it. Good.
Nice.
Pull him back. Get the D.
D. Nope. It's like we're.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I get a little.
It's
I
hard.
get a little. I mess with you sometimes too. Sorry. PRED.
D.
1, 2, 3, go.
Nice.
Good. Thank you.
I.
D. You're doing well.
Yeah,
But you gotta look.
let's see. Oh.
Yeah, it's okay. And no problem. Just start over. Ready, go. Get the C. Nice work. Get the T. Get the I. Get the O. Get the N. Nice.
Space. Nice.
Okay.
Is.
Pull him back again because he's not looking. It's Yanni. Pull my gap back again. Now, sometimes like if he's doing that twice, I'll say, no, get yourself focused. Look at the letter you want or look at the S. Okay? Get yourself focused. Look at the S. Okay? Come on. Try again. Look at the S. It's right here. You got to get it. Good. So this is great. Try again. Practice for how you guys move around the board together. Right. You've got it. I get the S.
S.
Perfect.
Nice.
Space.
Space. Can we get the space bar?
Get the space and knock it off. Okay, now you got to come up with a word. Word prediction is
It's
you.
How do you feel about word prediction?
Here we go. We got to look then. That's. Well, I'll let him mess with this.
You got
Okay, so we're not making a
That's
lot of
okay.
sense right now. We've got ooh, which I'll give you. Right. I mean, with your creative way of being in the world, I'm gonna give you some room, because I love it. But so what? Let's say one more thing. Nope, not yet.
Word prediction is ooh. V.
Look. Look. There's no VH in the world. Not that I know of.
I.
No.
Okay, where are you going next?
Hey, can we look?
Look. No.
Chris, are you just goofing on us?
Yeah. Viob. See, this is not a word. Vubi. Vubi. Okay. Nope. Okay, so we got ooh. Ooh right now. Okay. So I would like you to tell us something else about it. And so, why don't you share with him, because the next step is what you would think, or what you use word prediction when you text?
Yeah.
Tell him what you think about it.
So when I use word prediction when I'm texting, it helps me speak faster.
Okay, so he thinks it's, useful, helps him speak faster. What do you think? So that's what kind of answer we're looking for. This, it's right to your question. How do you help him? So I don't even know if it's about vocabulary development, but how do you help him structure his communication in a way that works? Right? Anyways, I just saw that and connected to what you asked. Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay, come on. You've got it. I'm here with you, and you're doing great. G. Okay, but we're not going to go to a letter that doesn't make sense after the G. We're going to give a real word. G what? Go. I. G-I. Look at a real word. Come on. 1, 2, 3. G-I. What's next? No, that is not a word. Go into a word board next, dude. G-I what? 1, 2, 3. It could be, so here, let me pause. It could be gift. It could be gives speed. It could be, okay? So that's my help. What do you think it could be? No, that's not a word. Try again. One more time, trying before we go to word board. 1, 2, 3, go. Look. Good job. You've got to look if you're, nope, because that's not a word. You have GIV. You could actually use your word prediction right now. Oh man, here we go. Get yourself in your body. Giving. Okay, is there something else? Giving what? Okay, we're gonna do this together. Giving. Look where you're going. No, and get your eyes. I don't know. Gee, no, these are not words. F. What? F. Try again. Okay, so we're going to stop for a second, and we're going to use this as an opportunity to practice, because this is what would be next. Yeah. So what I do is I go like this. Could be on a scrap piece of paper, anything. And I'm going to, because you started with F, I'm going to choose 3 F words. Not bad ones. And so I always write something else. Okay? Is it fast, fun, festive, or something else? And then you support it to point to one of these words.
So Chris, is it fast, festive, fun, or is it something else?
Ready, set, go. Fun.
Fun.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Right, so this is how you end. Now you just ended your communication. You feel good. He feels good. This is part of it. You have to develop success together then to build on success. You know? Because then you're like, oh, I got a little confidence. This worked well. It is okay if you use this a lot for a while. You know, try the other steps, but it's okay if you get to this. We don't want to be here forever, but it's a good tool to build, you know, some rapport and stuff. So, all right? Nice work. Okay? Who's next?